The treatment we get other places is never quite what they get when they come to us.
Yeah, we can name some cities. We won't go into that.
No.
I remember growing up as a child, and that was like the special treat that one would get.
Yeah.
They could go out
Still
to dinner.
Still is.
I had my gas station guy tow it and look at it. He said, "Frank, you're out of gas."
From the Love NOLA TV studio on New Orleans' beautiful St. Charles Avenue, this is the Mark Romig Show. Today's guests, chef and restaurateur Brian Landry, sports director of WWL TV Talking Saints Draft, Doug Mouton, producer of New Orleans Entrepreneurial Week, Sam McCabe, and chef, restaurateur, and culinary icon, Frank Brigtsen. And now, your host, Mark Romig.
Welcome, everyone, to the Mark Romig Show. Thank you for watching our full episodes on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications for all of our conversations. You can also listen on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or Amazon Music, and get clips on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We know this, but we are so spoiled when it comes to food and restaurants. Last week, we had Prince Lobo and Arun Sanchez. Today, to start the show, we have Chef Brian Landry from QED Hospitality, owner of Jack Rose, Bayou Bar, and Hot Tin right across the street at the Pontchartrain Hotel. And later, we have the legend, Chef Frank Brigtsen. I can't wait to talk with him. Sports director at WWL, Doug Mouton, joins us as well to talk about the Saints draft. And we have New Orleans Entrepreneur Week director, Sam McCabe, to talk about the upcoming event. All right, let's go ahead and get with the team and talk about what's happening and what happened this weekend.
My weekend was fine. I don't know what it was. I was very tired. I don't know. I just had to.
We're working you too hard here.
No. I'm having a lot of fun here. But yeah, it was just kind of just a chill weekend.
Yeah.
Just kind of the calm before
Kind of
the
rolling
storm.
into March that way.
Rolling into March and rolling into festival season. I was just, getting ready for that in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Pooch?
I had a great time with NOLA Cannabis Company and touring the city, going on a culinary tour with a bunch of other chefs, some great names and real great talent. But got to be an ambassador of sorts to Chef Travis Peterson of the NOLA Cannabis Company, taking him to different restaurants across the city, trying new things, and really learning a lot more about cannabis that I didn't know beforehand. Great time. Guys, look out for NOLA Cannabis Company.
And y'all started at one of my favorite restaurants, Good Catch.
We started at Good Catch, then we went off.
Great Thai food.
Great Thai food. Frankie and Alan, great people. Yeah. We then went off over to Gree with Eric Cook, who's obviously an amazing guy and character.
Superstar.
Really embodies Creole cuisine and progressive Creole cuisine. Loved it. I'm glad that Chef Travis got to see that and feel that in. And then we went over to Boucherie, had some amazing boudin balls, and got to tour that whole area, which is so cool. Nathaniel Zimmett is really a progressive chef here in New Orleans, and I love what he does.
That's a good way to roll into March.
A hell of a way to roll into March, and now it's kind of getting into that festival season. I'm French Quarter Fest.
I know. Buckle your seatbelts. Larry, what did you do?
Yeah, actually still kind of like Kel. I'm still recovering. Put together some baby furniture over the weekend.
That's right, because we have a blessed event coming up.
Yeah, me and my wife are expecting a baby boy this coming week. So
Terrific. Well, we know you'll be doing the daddy thing for a while, and we'll see you when you get back.
I'll be back. Hopefully fully energized when I come back.
Yes, well, I don't know. You may be without some sleep, but
I'll be here.
But they say it's worth it.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
great.
Sure it will be, yeah.
Hey, did y'all see the Travel and Leisure article listing us as the #1 city for nightlife? Not that we had any doubt.
I'm trying to understand why we had competition.
But it tells me it's not all about the party, and to me, it's the great aspect of balance of work and play. I mean, a city like New Orleans can provide you a great place to work, great place to live, and a great place to have a good time. And I think, when Travel and Leisure recognizes that, that's not bad.
Yeah, from the live music alone, I mean, you can walk into any bar and hear any genre of music. Like, it's not just jazz. You can hear DJs, rock, zydeco, brass.
And it's not only the bars. I mean, it's also you're surrounding yourself with this great architecture and the history of New Orleans, and it's the complete package. So
I think it's finally about time that the world realizes, and I think they do, but being #1 isn't an achievement; it's an expectation now. You know? So, and we really do everything well. And once people come and learn how we do things, they'll never do what they did before the same, whether it be music, food, whatever it is, culture.
And that carries a responsibility to maintain that and to do the right things to respect the culture too. So let's keep that story going too. All right. So we're gonna now move on to our next segment, On the Table, which is sponsored by Blue Runner Foods. We have the great chef Brian Landry. Guys, we've got a king in the studio. That's right. The only king we recognize around here is the king of seafood, Brian Landry. Brian.
Yes.
Nice to have you with us.
Good to see you again.
Born and bred in the city, and you're now neighbors right across the street, right? At the Pontchartrain Hotel, you've got Hot Tin, Bayou Bar, Jack Rose.
Silver Whistle.
Silver Whistle. Thank you very much. Of course, I should know that because I'm there every morning for my decaf latte.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you with us. What's it like being king of the seafood?
I mean, there's a lot of us now, but anytime we get to represent the city, far and wide, I think it's a phenomenal honor.
Yeah. I know you fish a lot.
I do.
Is that like your favorite pastime?
Playing soccer, still pretty active in that, and fishing. Yeah.
That's great. I know your family and my family go back more than I can count.
Yeah.
But we appreciate everything that you've done here. Do you remember the first time that you were in the kitchen with your mom, most likely, or your grandmother, when you said, you know what, I want to do this?
I couldn't cook at all when I was younger, at all. Like, I couldn't make a grilled cheese. And it wasn't until I was a waiter, actually right up the street on St. Charles Avenue. It was Que Sera. And then there was a little bit of time there where it was Jason's, which was an Australian white tablecloth restaurant, 3636. I worked with Larkin Selman and Kevin Vizard. And that was the first time I cooked in a professional kitchen. So,
and it came really from there.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You and Embry launched QED Hospitality. Tell us about the launch of that and where that has taken you.
We opened that in 2018 and took over the Pontchartrain Hotel here, the Thompson Hotel in Nashville, and then since then we added the Jim Beam Distillery in Claremont, Kentucky. So we kind of just travel up and down I-65.
So the food scene in New Orleans back here now is evolving. Every day it evolves. What do you see? What do you see these trends moving toward?
I still love that the Grand Dames and the neighborhood restaurants that have been here for decades and decades still find a way to coexist with the restaurants that are more modern and pushing it forward. I think one of the things that makes New Orleans unique, especially to North America, is we have found a way to hold on to our roots while evolving, and we don't necessarily erase the past in order to progress. And I think that is the beauty of cooking in this city.
Yeah, we talk about the adaptability of the chefs here, and you're seeing that. You see it in your own kitchen, right?
For sure.
And the development of your menus, how do you go about doing that now?
At Jack Rose specifically, we definitely lean into the Creole Italian influence.
Right.
We make a lot of our own pastas from scratch. And then we also use a lot of the newer technologies, new ovens. There's all of these equipment technologies that have allowed us to kind of cook with a modern edge while still being rooted in a lot of the dishes that feel familiar.
Yeah. Talk about the Pontchartrain for a moment. It seems to be a hotbed of activity. I mean, it's sort of the center of the universe on many weekends, but even during the week. The fact that you're running 4 outlets, what is that experience like?
I mean, the coolest thing is working with Peter Harris, I think, and the music program he's developed in Bayou Bar. It's allowed us to meet, so many phenomenal musicians from this city. Every night is essentially a different band centered around Peter's bass playing. And so there's that room, which you can sneak in. There's never a cover charge. You can eat off of the Jack Rose menu while listening to music, which there's not a whole lot of places you can do that these days in the city. But then there's also Hot Tin, which has like the best view of the city, probably in the city. The entire downtown skyline, great cocktails up there. And then Jack Rose kind of pulls it all together. So.
Right, and that brings me to ask the question about the Mile High Pie.
Yes.
Talk to us about that. I remember growing up as a child, and that was like the special treat that one would get.
Yeah,
if they could go out
Still
to dinner.
is. 3 layers: chocolate, vanilla, peppermint. A lot of people think it's strawberry. It's peppermint.
It is peppermint.
Yeah.
See, I
it's
would have guessed strawberry.
Yep. But ice cream pie. We do a marshmallow meringue and then a little warm chocolate sauce drizzled. But that's one of those dishes that connects generations, where people had it in the 60s and 70s and remember having it, and now they're taking their kids and grandkids. Those moments are amazing.
Right. Yeah. What does the year 2026 look like for you?
We're going to put out a book. Peter and I wrote a book. It's going to be called Rhythm and Roux.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's about the convergence of modern jazz, modern New Orleans music, and modern Creole cuisine. So that'll come out in the fall.
They put some recipes in there?
Got about 100 recipes, some cocktail, some food, lots of musician interviews. 31 musicians who play Bayou Bar all agreed to be part of the book.
Wow.
It's going to be awesome.
That's great. Well, I'll have you back on and talk about it when it comes out. Got to get back to the family for a moment. Grew up with the Delahoussies, your mom's family. Your mom also plays a strategic role with Jack Rose, because I see her tending the garden. The garden.
Yeah, she's always
You're
involved.
putting your mom to work.
She volunteered, but I think she loves the energy of the building, and any way she can kind of stay involved in it, she does. So she's super helpful.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So 2026, exciting year for you, and
Yes.
we just can't thank you enough for being great neighbors.
Yeah.
Y'all do great work across the street, but also, as you said, in Tennessee and Kentucky.
Yeah.
And thank you for being with us, and we'll have you back on when you have that book coming out.
That'd be great.
Thanks,
Thank
Jeff.
you.
All right. Move the chains. So happy, so excited. We have Doug Mouton, sports director for WWL-TV,
I'm not sure anyone's ever said that before.
in the studio. 30 years in the business.
Yeah, more than 30. I try to. I used to
it
be
feels like
proud and
30.
advertise how many years. Now, oh no, it's like 20. Now I'm bringing it down so I don't feel too old.
But I mean, you've had such a great career, a sportscaster of the year twice for Louisiana, Emmy Award winner, Edward R. Murrow Award winner. I'm sorry, I'm bragging on you.
Yeah, I mean, those awards.
And a
aren't
great
hard to
MC. You and I share our MC auction.
I feel like they get me to
opportunities.
MC when they can't get you.
No. I see. That's just the opposite. Thank you for coming in. So many topics that we could touch on. I want to talk about the Saints. I want to talk about the Pelicans. I want to talk about your work with the Sugar Bowl Sports Committee there, and what you do. You vote for the Heisman Trophy and all sorts of things. So let's start with the Saints. How you feeling?
I am feeling incredibly optimistic. And I think the city is maybe a little more guarded than me, but I'm ahead of where the city is, because they had a spectacular draft. Look, we could talk for the length of the time you have about the quarterback. I am super high on this quarterback. I think he is the guy.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck is
and I have thought that
good
since
guy.
the third play of the Carolina game on the road. And look, I love what they've started. I like the head coach. I like what they're building. I'm not saying they're going to get there this year, but I am super optimistic about where this organization is headed. Again, really for the first time since 1819 or so.
Yeah. What do you think they're looking for in the draft?
Well, I mean, they definitely need to give Tyler Shuck some help. They need some playmakers, whether that's running backs or wide receivers. They need more than one guy I'm talking about. You've got to get him some elite weapons. You could certainly use help on the defensive line. The good thing is you put pieces in place all over the place. You need some interior offensive line. You still need 6 or 7 or 8. I'm not sure they can fill all the needs they have right now in one off season. It might be 2 more, but I feel like they can get pretty close if they can hit a few more bullseyes.
Yeah, that
this
optimism
offseason.
that you mentioned, I sense that.
There's no doubt
It's,
you sense it around town.
yeah.
No doubt.
And of course, they're going to Paris
And they're going to Paris. And they're going to Paris.
A little extra excitement there.
We dressed up in like stereotypical. Mine was actually a mime costume for Mardi Gras. Because I'm super excited. I think it's awesome. I don't think there's a better connection between an American sports team and a European city than there is. I mean, the Saints wear a fleur-de-lis on their helmets. Then New Orleans going to Paris is maybe you could make an argument of Boston going to Dublin, but New Orleans going to Paris is an A-plus connection that I think there's going to be 10,000 New Orleanians in Paris, and I don't think French people have any idea what's about to hit them.
I know a lot of people are, they're making their plans now. They're looking for their flights without knowing exactly, who we're playing yet. They haven't announced that officially.
And no official date.
Right, but we hear it's coming.
We know it's definitely coming. It's definitely coming. The dates, we think we know the date. We think we know who they're playing. Yeah. We got to chill for a little bit until it actually comes out.
Speaking of a special year, of course, Drew gets announced as a member of the Hall of Fame. Wow, what a great guy, and that game's going to be fantastic. Too.
Yeah, just the whole thing. Since you called asked me to do the show, I figured we'd be talking Saints and might be a little, retrospective. But just Drew Brees getting into the Hall of Fame gets you thinking about 06 and what that team did and what that team meant to this city. I mean, in 06, if you could find a hot lunch that day was a win. You know what I mean? Like, we were so beaten up.
Coming off of Katrina.
And brain dead.
People needed something to believe in.
And it was the hope of a city like... And all of us couldn't believe what we were getting, and it just kept getting better. And it gets to the NFC Championship game, and then in 09 to actually sort of finish the deal.
Yeah.
The 09 was just the most stunning sports year.
There's some parallels. There's some parallels to what we're going through right now, I think. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. But there's nothing parallels Katrina.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, for those of us who lived through it, I know you can relate. Yeah. Like, nothing parallels that. And
speaking of that 2006, the game, Atlanta Falcons, September 2006. You were there.
I was there. And in fact, we did a pregame. I worked at WGNO. We did a pregame show, which I produced. I still have it on the shelf above my desk. It was called Home in the Dome. I did a profile of your dad for that show. It was a 1-hour pregame show that we ran before the game, which, look, I thought it was excellent. Ed Daniels and I worked on that together for a while because it meant that much to us. And then, so what happened for me personally, I'm outside the dome as we're doing the show. So we finished the show and I went up to the press box, and I got up to the press box and I remember people just hugging because we hadn't seen everybody else in 2 years. As that pregame part was starting with Green Day and U2, I walked in and I was speechless for the next 20 minutes through the Steve Gleason block and all of that. Yeah, just an unbelievable event. I don't even consider that a sporting event. That was like a life-changing
I've never
event.
seen so many adults cry.
Yeah, and I couldn't make a sentence.
In a happy way.
In some kind of relief kind of way, whatever it was. I'm not even sure what it was, but I was bawling like a baby.
Yeah, it was very special. And I get chills even just watching.
Yeah, it was stunning, but I profiled your dad in that
Thank you for
show.
that. Yeah, Dad, who announced the Saints for 44 years.
He was the guy.
Yeah.
And look, he was such an embodiment of New Orleans that I thought that was the one story that I contributed to that show personally. Like, that was a story I personally wanted to do because I knew he could sort of say what New Orleanians were going through and what this meant in a way that others couldn't.
Sure.
Like, he was my symbol of New Orleans. All right, I need you to be our voice.
Well, thanks for that memory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a strong memory. You brought up that day. That's what I think of.
Yeah.
In 09, I went to Saints games, and the one thing that struck me about Saints games then, and my friends would do the big tailgating, was that everybody in the group, 50 or 60 people, would go out of their way if they saw somebody with an opposing team jersey and say, hey, you guys want something? Hey, look, have fun. Like, to be, all of my friends, without trying or being asked to, were all ambassadors. Now, we all had that post-Katrina-ism still at that point. Like, we needed every tourist dollar we could get. You know what I mean? But but the ambassadorship that you don't see in other cities, it strikes me from the tailgating at those Saints games. I'll never forget. And it wasn't, I mean, I did it too, but it wasn't me initiating it. It was everyone initiating this New Orleans brand.
It's the DNA that
it's kind of baked into us.
Exactly.
I mean, it really is. Like, we can't help it.
Come on
We're not
over to
going
my
to taunt
house.
other people. We might poke fun at you while serving you food.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
The Atlanta Falcon fans are used to that, I think.
They are extremely
But they still
used to
come.
it. Oh, they come to
in
eat.
throngs because
in huge
they're going to get some jambalaya from
But
somebody.
the treatment we get other places is never quite what they get when they come to us.
Yeah, we can name some cities.
We
won't go into that.
No, we will not.
We won't go into that. When we get into the draft and we're looking at the season, as the season comes out for the Saints, I'd like to have you come back.
I'd love to.
Do some prognostications.
Oh, anytime.
And we can
I'll
talk,
have some better ideas then.
and we can talk about Paris.
And we can talk about Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we're able to go. You know, you got to get the budget approvals.
Me too.
Yeah, right. I feel, I don't know, cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I hate to say it, I'm very democratic about our who goes on what trips. Like we took 6 Saints trips last year. We did a draft between 3 of us. We each got 2
Really?
trips.
That's good.
We each picked
That's
the ones
fair.
we want. I hate to say it. Paris is the one I'm going to take that one. I'll give everybody else a choice after that.
All right,
But
the
if we
sports
go to Paris,
director is
it'll be me
going to
going.
Paris.
Yeah.
Yes, that's great. Well, thank you for being with us, and it's so good to see you again.
Anytime.
All right, Doug. All right, gang, we have a professor in the studio, so sit up, act right. We are so excited to have with us the director of the Center for Entrepreneurship and Community Development at Loyola, and also the fact that you are running the New Orleans Entrepreneur Week.
Yes, indeed.
Sam McCabe, great to have you with us. You are a graduate of Loyola 2014, I believe.
That's right.
And in the 2025 Young Alumnus of the Year Award
That's
winner.
right. Yes.
That's a lot.
I mean, I love that place. It's why I came down here. I moved here from Missouri to go to Loyola, and then met my wife there. She's from Lafayette, so I'm kind of stuck here forever.
You're one of
which I
those
love it.
stories. You meet
Yeah.
somebody from Louisiana, you never leave.
That's right, and I don't want to leave. I love it here.
That's
So,
fantastic. Well, we're excited about what's happening with the New Orleans Entrepreneur Week. This is its 15th year,
Yes.
annual.
Yes.
For those who have not attended, tell us what's happening.
Yeah, so New Orleans Entrepreneur Week is kind of this culmination and really exciting event that has happened in March for the last 15 years. It's this intersection of community and innovation and culture that only New Orleans knows how to do, highlighting all these startups and small businesses and all these amazing innovators and creators that are doing amazing things here in New Orleans.
Right, and I remember back in the day, Idea Village helped create this.
Yes.
And it has grown to the point now where Loyola, and hats off to Loyola for picking it up and really making it, taking it to the next level.
We appreciate that. Yeah, so Idea Village ran it for the first 13 years on their own. And then last year we took over and helped co-produce the event. So we worked hand in hand with the Idea Village to really get an idea of how to do it and kind of what the history of was, and then how to then kind of evolve it. And starting for this year, we're the sole producers on it. We have a ton of amazing partners all over the city that are helping us do it. But yeah, we're running the show for it this
Well,
year.
a great location. You know, the campus is so beautiful. But tell us, the footprint is really larger than just the campus, right?
For sure. Yeah. So on a Thursday and Friday, March 12th and 13th, is the big kind of flagship summit. So we'll host 2 days of programming on 3 stages in the Student Center at Loyola. Both of those days, kind of all day, about 10:30 in the morning until 4-ish p.m. But throughout the week, there's events kind of all over town. Tulane is hosting a handful of events. UNO with the beach, they're hosting an event on Monday. We've got a really cool event on the North Shore. So if you don't want to cross the lake on Tuesday, Startup North Shore is doing an event. You can really find a ton of different things all over the city, and you can see that whole schedule if you go to noe.org.
Right. Well, I know we're concentrating this for a week.
Yeah.
But New Orleans in this area is really filled with all sorts of entrepreneurship and creative programming. Tell us what you're seeing from your position as the director of the Center for Entrepreneurship and Community Development.
For sure, yeah. It's really amazing to see just this desire of folks to solve problems, right? New Orleans, we have, there's all sorts of problems here, from potholes to climate change and all these other things, however small or large you want to go. And we're seeing our students at Loyola, as well as from all over the city, really having this desire to make an impact and be able to stay here and grow here and help this city in whatever way they can, right? And whether that's somebody that wants to open up a new ice cream shop or somebody that wants to come up with new biodegradable beads for Mardi Gras, we're working with people that want to be able to have an impact on the community and the culture here.
Right. There's an expression of entrepreneurship that you see across the board.
Absolutely.
When you think about people like Becker Hall,
Yeah.
Hogs for the Cause,
Yeah.
what they've been able to do and
Right.
create.
Right, and Becker's been doing some amazing stuff with hogs. You know, they've raised over $17 million for childhood cancer just by starting a barbecue festival, basically, right? So, you know, what we're seeing is that you don't have to have a tech startup to have an impact on New Orleans. You can do something smaller that can grow into this big thing, big production that can help share the culture, this community, and just the joy that the people of New Orleans have.
Really, and inspire others to do the same thing, right?
Absolutely.
You know, it's like, wow, if they can do that, maybe I can do something as well.
Absolutely.
Some of the events not to miss, if you had to kind of rank, all right, these are the 2 or 3 events that you really need to get to.
Yeah, I mean, the big one that I'm most excited about is we have our amazing new mayor, Helena Moreno, doing an interview with Tim Miller from the Bulwark podcast about just kind of this idea that there's so much momentum in this city right now. How can we fold that in with the entrepreneurship ecosystem, right? I'm really looking forward to that. That's Friday morning at the summit at Loyola at around 11 a.m. We also have Josh Flagg from Louisiana Innovation coming in to talk about kind of more of a statewide approach, all the really cool new tech things that are happening across the state. You mentioned John and Hannah with the Arctic Challenge on Thursday. I'm really excited about that just because I want to know more about that experience. It's so exciting.
And you got John McNeil, the former president of Tesla, who's
Yes.
now COO at Lyft.
Yes. Yes. He's really cool. He's talking about this. He's got this keynote that's going to be talking about kind of the new generation of businesses when you're factoring in AI. Right. We're excited to have him in. He is also going to be at BookFest too. There's a lot of really cool overlap with some of that.
Very good.
Yeah.
And I understand this is open to the public.
Yes. Yeah. Every single NOE event across the week is totally free, open to the public. You can register for free in about 30 seconds at noew.org.
Sounds like a good way to spend the week.
Yeah, it's great.
You've got a number of themes that you're touching on.
Yes.
What are some of your theme lines this year?
Start it here, scale it anywhere, right? We've got a lot of these founders who have had an idea that have come through, whether it's some of these incubators or folks that are here that have really scaled way beyond New Orleans. We've got this idea of built different, right? With how we're building here in New Orleans, we have that culture that just you can't find anywhere else that allows for our founders to build something differently. And then the last one is that the community is our superpower, right? Yeah. That's something that we've really leaned into this year. We really want to showcase that this, the rising tide lifts all boats. If we can all work together and build this network of founders, of creators, of innovators to highlight what we do here, everyone can rise at the same time.
Wow. So. Well, you're bringing the enthusiasm for sure. Sam, deeply appreciate you being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Good luck with New Orleans Entrepreneur Week. People can find it at noew.org.
That's right.
Register, open to the public.
Yep.
And what a great way to be inspired.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Mark. I appreciate it.
Sam, our pleasure.
For sure.
Take care. I am so excited about our next guest, our featured guest for this show. This gentleman has been cooking for people all over the world for several decades. Those of you who have been fortunate to have been to his restaurant know how special this place is, how special this guy is. I am pleased to bring Chef Frank Brigtsen here today.
Thank you, Mark. I'm so happy to be here. It's a beautiful day in New Orleans.
It is. It's always a good day in New Orleans,
it is.
right? Especially with you around. So I got to start with the 40th anniversary. How are you and Marna, your beautiful wife, feeling about that?
Oh, we're so excited, Mark. 40 years Brigtsen's has been open, and along with her 2 sisters, Sandy and Rhonda, we've been it together all these years. And it's a true mom and pop restaurant. And it's our happy place.
You know, that dynamic, you just talked about it, because you're not only going into a restaurant, but you're going into a home. Just give us some sense of how that home came about.
Yeah, it really is like that, and we get that comment a lot, Mark. And you know, when we were getting ready to open Brigtsen's, people would ask me, you know, what kind of restaurant is going to be, you know, and I didn't have an answer. All I said was, I just want to open a really good New Orleans restaurant. Now, if you're from New Orleans, you know exactly what that means. Great food and hospitality.
Right.
And I was so fortunate that Superdome and Chef Paul helped us open and allowed me to bring Sandy and Rhonda from K. Paul's. And so I never had to worry about the front of the house. That part was done.
Right.
And I could concentrate on the kitchen.
And so you did, working with great delicacies from this area, the crawfish, the Ponchatoula strawberries, the fish, the oysters. I'm getting hungry.
It's almost like, I mean, New Orleans chefs have an edge already, because great food starts with great ingredients. And there's always something in season in New Orleans. And in the springtime, it's strawberries, the best in the world.
Yeah.
And crawfish and oysters are at their peak, you know, and we'll get through all the 4 seasons: crab, crawfish, shrimp, and oysters, you know, and our palette of foods to choose from is so rich.
That creativity, which you bring to the kitchen each and every time you open that door, kind of just blows that away all the time. It's fantastic. Tell us about Celebration of the Season, that special menu.
Yeah, this is for our 40th anniversary, and we're offering it on our actual anniversary, Friday, March 6th, and also the Saturday, March 7th. It is sold out.
Extended hours, too?
Extended hours, yes. You know, after the pandemic, we've noticed that people were dining earlier. It used to be 7:30, 8 o'clock was prime time, and now it's 6:30. So we shortened our hours from 5 to 8:30. So I thought, you know, let's try this. So for however long it works, we're going to extend our hours to 9:30.
Wow.
So there's an extra hour to come eat, and with festival season coming up, you know, I think it'll work.
That's
if
great.
we get a few tables, it's worth it.
Definitely. As you say, you're sold out, but people can still make reservations going into the season of the spring. You know, all these festivals that are happening, people will be looking for things to do in the weekends as well. But best wishes with that. And once again, happy 40th. Now, let's take you back, your early days, growing up in the area, and how you came to be in the kitchen. What was the inspiration that you had for that?
Well, Mark, it's I'm fourth generation New Orleanian. You know, my great-grandfather came to New Orleans from Bergen, Norway, and worked on the riverfront. And my dad was a New Orleans boy through and through. Grew up not far from here. And when I went to college, I went to LSU, and I was originally steering towards architecture. And 2 weeks before college started, I decided to go into fine arts. Not a popular decision with Dad, understandably. But I did that. I studied fine arts for 5 years. And during the college years, started working. I had to have a job. So I started working in a sandwich shop, and then a pasta place. And then I became a night manager at the pasta place. So when I moved back to New Orleans, I understood that I really liked being in the kitchen. And I worked at a place out by the lakefront. And then I saw a classified ad, Commander's Palace, now hiring Creole chefs or people willing to learn Creole cuisine.
Oh.
I grew up with it. I'm ready to turn it into a profession.
So many people have gone through that Commander's Palace kitchen. Who was the first chef that you worked under there?
Chef Paul Prudhomme.
Wow. 1978.
1978.
And there's some history there with you.
Oh, absolutely. And it was my culinary school. I was there 6 months, and I worked every station in the house. I learned how to shake a skillet. Wow. And as is very common in the restaurant industry, Mark, it's often circumstances that create opportunity. You know, this chef got sent home. Frank, you're on hot apps. 2 chefs didn't show up. Frank, you know how to make an omelet? No. Frank, you're on saute. Okay. And so, you know, learning under fire, literally like that, was really wonderful opportunity. And one Sunday morning, jazz brunch, you know, we had 700 reservations, and 2 of the chefs were late. So I need to set up the front line. So I started setting up the front line, and I had a big stack of plates in my arms, and Chef Paul was sitting across from the line in his chair. And Frank, yes, chef, how do you feel about sauces? I really like them. I said, no, let me rephrase that. How would you like to come to Cape Paul's and let me show you the nuances of sauce making? I'd never heard of Cape Paul's. I said, yes, chef. So he took me from Commanders, and I became the first night chef at Cape Paul's. We opened for dinner.
Oh, amazing story.
And he was doing both jobs.
You know, we had a previous guest on, Arun Sanchez.
Oh.
You crossed paths with Arun at
Yes.
Cape Paul's?
I met Arun when he was a very young man. I knew his mother. His mother, Zarella Martinez, was a good buddy of Chef Paul's. She had a restaurant in Manhattan called Zarella's. And we had eaten there a couple of times, and oh my gosh, it was just incredible. You know, her Mexican cuisine was through the roof. And I just saw her last year. She moved back to town, and a friend brought her in to eat at Brigtsen's, and we chatted. And oh my God, it was so heartful and
so
joyful.
special.
And she moved back here, she said, because Aaron needs me. Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful. That's beautiful. You know, and you and Marna have such a great partnership, and it's important to have people like that in our lives.
Yes,
Whether
absolutely.
it's your mom or your life partner or whoever, just to keep you grounded.
Yeah, that's right.
And moving forward.
That's right. And Marna and I, thankfully, are such a great team. You know, she handles a lot of the business side of things, the finances and all that stuff, so that I can concentrate on what I do.
So talk about the New Orleans palate and your palate. How have the two intersected? And what have you found to be the one thing or the things that you really like to go to on a regular basis? What's the Frank Brigtsen palate look like?
Yes. Well, I think, you know, a lot of it is our own sensitivity, what we grew up with. I call it chasing flavors. You know, when I'm building a dish, I'm chasing, number one, depth of flavor.
Okay.
And I think that's what separates Creole cuisine from all others. Although there are parallels in Thai cuisine and Chinese cuisine and Mexican cuisine, but we don't like singular tasting dishes. We want a progression of flavors and sensations as we eat. And it starts with onion, celery, and bell pepper, garlic, bay leaf, spices, you know, like peppers, you know. Oh, is that hot and spicy? No, I don't make painfully hot food. But there's a tickle.
Yeah.
There's a glow. You know, many of my dishes use black, white, and cayenne pepper, not to make it spicy, but to give you different sensations with each bite, and it makes you want another bite.
Wow. Recently, we all ran across a video by David Chang. If we can take a look at that, I'd like to get your reaction on the other side. Let's look at the,
Yeah, I
let's look
love
at the
that.
screen.
Do you think that New Orleans and Louisiana, or I guess like the entire region, has the most distinctive regional cuisine in America?
The reason why New Orleans unequivocally is number one, there's a deep bench of dishes, right? One of the oldest cities that's seen the good and bad of America, like mostly a lot of the bad, but that's, you know, most things have been born out of shit like that. And there is a tradition to preserve.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like our Kyoto, where it's like progress happens at a snail's pace in terms of changing the dish.
And there is a reason for everything. There's a reason why you do it that way.
So deep bench, variety, tradition.
Wow. I mean, that's quite a saying about New Orleans, don't you think?
Yeah, I really do think so. And, you know, I say the same thing a lot, Mark, in different words. You know, the beauty of Louisiana cuisine, Cajun and Creole, is that it's not 3 or 4 or 5 dishes. Mm-hmm. It's a way of doing things. And so there are hundreds of Louisiana dishes that carry our culture forward. And, you know, as Chef Chang mentioned, you know, a lot of our creativity and opportunity and changes were born of necessity through disasters. Yeah. You know, Katrina changed our palate. It changed our demographics. It changed our restaurant landscape. It's much more diverse. And that's what Creole culture is all about.
It's sort of adaptability. It's the ability.
Adaptability. And all the immigrants that have come through and built this culture over the last 300 plus years, they all leave their imprint.
Yeah, so special. If we go back in history just a little bit, 40 years, just a little. Opening day at Brigtsen's, what was it like?
Oh, frantic. You know, Chef Paul and Kay sat me down one night at Kay Paul's and said, "We think you're ready to go out on your own." And again, I said, "Yes, Chef."
Whatever you say, Chef.
And a couple of months later, after we found a place, he said, "Here's your last paycheck. You better open soon." Mm-hmm.
That's a necessity.
He's strictly business. But we did. We opened 5 days later. And I had 4 trips to City Hall. And then the 4th one, my car died. I'm like, oh my God, I need to get to City Hall. So I had my gas station guy tow it and look at it. He said, "Frank, you're out of gas." That's how frantic
That's fixable.
it was.
Yeah. Why the River Bend?
Well, you know, when I was looking for a property, Mark, I knew one thing. I wanted to get out of the French Quarter. Okay. I love the French Quarter, but I'd worked there for 7 years. And I wanted to, you know, frankly, open a restaurant for locals. And Uptown, to me, is the heart of the city. And after driving my real estate agent crazy, you know, saying, "I'll know it when I see it." When I opened the front door at 723 Dante, I had 1 foot in the door, and I knew this was the place for me.
Oh, it felt good.
It felt like New Orleans.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it was this manageable size for me.
Oh, wow. Let's talk about today's food scene in New Orleans. What's your take on it? What's changed through the years? And we talk about the chefs that have been coming up, you know, this new generation of chefs. What do you see out there?
Well, I see a broader scope. You know, like going back to the few years after Katrina, restaurants were opening, new restaurants, and being an old fuddy-duddy New Orleanian, I'm like, well, here's 10 new restaurants. I can't say any of them are Creole. But what I meant by that was the trout meuniere, gumbo, bread pudding kind of Creole. But to me, as I said in an interview one time, I was doing an interview with Nina Compton and a food writer. And I was like, oh, Creole, she's like new Creole. And I said, Chef Nina's goat curry, her curried goat, is just as Creole as my trout meuniere. And that's the beauty of the whole thing. It's the diversity.
Right.
The depth of flavor was there. The progression of spices was there. And you could close your eyes and say, this is Creole. And I think today, you know, I taught for many years at the John Fo's Culinary Institute for 17 years and at NOLA with high school culinary students, and this is the joy of my life. And, you know, seeing some of them really starting to come into themselves. And that's why I taught. That's what I did. I taught to preserve and protect Creole culture and cuisine.
Right.
And now you see these threads, the spider web just growing a little bit. And my joy now at Brigtsen's is giving young chefs an opportunity. You know, I just hired a young lady, 24 years old, CIA graduate, had worked in a couple of nice restaurants. And I opened my door to her. And 3 weeks later, she's working the grill. Wow. My spot. that gives me the greatest
Yeah,
joy.
you're playing the role that Chef Prudhomme played for you.
Exactly right.
With her.
Exactly right.
That's
and that's my
amazing.
joy.
Yeah, and then we have schools like Cafe Reconcile,
Yes.
experiences like Cafe Reconcile in Noki, even the kids coming out of NOCA, and as you said, Nickel State with John Folse's program. I mean, you've got this next generation. We're going to be rich, I think, in culinary specialists.
I think so too. It takes, I think now more than ever, well, going back to my generation, it takes a certain passion and commitment to do this job. You're going to work nights. You're going to work weekends. You're not going to see your old friends anymore. You have to give up all that. But the people that embrace it, I call it a parallel universe. We live in this other universe, and it gives me such great joy to see people like Allison Birdsall, who's going to be the new chef at Rosedale, my good friend Susan Spicer's place.
So that story is a
I've
recent
eaten
story.
Allison's food, and she is brilliant.
Yeah.
And Susan has, chosen the right person.
But that mentoring is so important. I know you value your role. I mean, recently you received the Ella Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award, and a lot of the kudos around that, if you don't mind me using that word, was because of you're such a great role model. And don't you think that's important for this generation to be the role model for the next?
Yes. I think that's, no matter what your profession, part of your role is to teach and train and give opportunity.
If you had to give a young chef that one piece of advice, what would it be?
Make every plate like you're making it for your mama.
Wow, that's beautiful. All right, Frank, how long you got? We could go another couple hours.
I'm ready.
I do want to talk about a couple things. We're going to get to that New Orleans questionnaire, the official New Orleans questionnaire. We want to have fun with that. But I want to talk about your book coming out this summer, The Color of Flavor. This is a magnificent book. It is, I might add that the design was helped by Brand Society and the great artists that over there. Tell us about what we'll see in this.
Well, this is my life's work. That's what it's, my big cookbook. And for many years, people have said, Frank.
I have to show this one as
well.
Oh,
yeah, that's my baby.
That's Morna.
When are you going to write a cookbook? When are you going to write a cookbook? I said, well, when I stop cooking, I'll write. And that time has come. And one night, a little over a year ago, a good friend of mine, Ricky Thomas, who owns Blue Runner Foods, he popped into the restaurant by himself, popped in, sat down to have dinner. He said, is Chef Frank here? So I came out. We've been good friends for a long time. And he stood up. He said, Frank, you want to do a cookbook? I shook his hand. I said, yes. So Rick has financed this whole project. We're self-publishing.
Fantastic.
And put together an amazing team, including Brand Society, Engage, and Romney Caruso, the photographer. We shot all the photos last summer over a 10-week period, and that is the most fun I've had in so long.
And I got to ask, the dish that's on the cover.
That is shrimp etouffee. Mm-hmm. And we went back and forth about dishes, but we wanted something, well.
It's like your favorite child, or you can't really, you've got many favorite children.
Well, the title comes from one of my many Frankisms that I say a lot, and in cooking, color is flavor. And brown is the color of flavor. Mm. But we also wanted a dish that people would recognize, something that people that don't know me, for instance, might say, oh, that's got to be Cajun cooking, Louisiana cooking.
That's beautiful. All right. You ready? Let's do some questions here.
I'm ready.
The official New Orleans questionnaire. The first question, what is the best po' boy?
For me, it's an oyster po' boy from Krabby Jack's.
All right. Do you dress it or?
All the way dressed.
All the way.
With hot sauce, please.
Cool. All right. All right, here's one. You have an opportunity to see one New Orleans musical artist, dead or alive, in concert. Who would it be and where would you go?
Earl Turbinton, saxophonist at Lou and Charlie's on Rampart Street.
All right.
Earl was amazing. He was in the John Coltrane School, Archie Shepp School of Music, and oh my gosh, a mind-blowing experience.
Wow,
And Lou and Charlie's, of course, the best ever.
hopefully people watching are going to be Googling now.
Earl
finding that
Turbinton.
music. That's wonderful. Here's a good one. What's your favorite New Orleans smell?
Boiled crawfish.
All right, very good.
Springtime, I'm driving around the city. All you smell is boiled crawfish.
I got to ask this one. Your least favorite New Orleans smell?
Oh, Bourbon Street, sunrise.
Before they came in with the wash. All right. Mardi Gras or Jazz Fest?
Mardi Gras.
All right. We're going to talk about your Mardi Gras experience in just a minute, too. What's your Saints Mount Rushmore look like? Who's on Mount Rushmore for the Saints?
For the Saints?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's up there?
Drew Brees, Deuce McAllister, Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling.
Very good. Let's go to gumbo. Chicken or seafood?
For me, it's chicken.
All right. You
I'm
add anything
alert-
else to it? Like
Chicken and andouille sausage,
okay.
filet gumbo.
Filet gumbo.
I'm allergic to shrimp.
Really?
Now
Now, Frank Brigtsen, I would not know
I know.
that.
And that didn't happen till I was about 40, so don't feel sorry for me. I had enough shrimp for one lifetime.
All right.
But seafood gumbo without shrimp,
Okay. What's your favorite New Orleans movie or TV series?
oh, I'm going to get you with this one. What's the name of that movie I saw as a kid? Panic in the Streets
Really?
with Richard Widmark.
He played a.
This is in the 50s.
Was he a detective in that, or was
Yes, that's right.
he? Yeah.
And it was about
Some sort of
the plague.
That's right. Amazing.
This guy got shot by some gangsters or something and went to the morgue, and they discovered he had bubonic plague. Oh, it was so great. But, you know, it was the first movie I
Black
saw.
and white, too.
Yeah, black and
Yes.
white that I saw as a kid. It was set in New Orleans, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's neat. All right. Neutral ground or sidewalk?
Oh, neutral ground.
All right. Why neutral
More
ground?
space,
Ah,
more families.
spreading out.
Yeah, you can back off a little bit. It's got a good vibe.
Good. What's your earliest memory of visiting the French Quarter?
Oh, man. The Monteleone Hotel. When I was a kid in the 60s in grade school, my father used to rent the second floor corner suite at the Monteleone for
Right there
Mardi
in
Gras
Iberville?
weekend. Iberville and Royal. For the whole weekend. We'd get out of school early on Friday and stay till Ash Wednesday. And this, of course, is when parades went down, the night parades went down
That's right.
Royal
yeah.
Street.
We had the flambeau.
We could watch
flambeaus
Comas from
and
the second
everything.
floor window. Oh my gosh. Eat at Solari's,
Oh.
Boys from Acme. And then when I was like, I guess 10, 12, 11, I could, Fat Tuesday morning, I could walk to Canal Street to see Rex by myself. It was so cool.
That was so neat. And when my dad was at Channel 6 for all those years, we would catch the parades up on the second floor balcony at
Yes.
520 Royal. Yeah. That's a special time.
Oh my gosh.
I just remember the flambeau carriers lighting up
Yes.
the night. All right, here's one. Dead or alive, who's the one person you'd like to take to lunch?
Ooh.
And where would you take them?
Ooh. Salvador Dali,
Oh. Oh.
lunch at Rosedale.
That's art coming out in there.
Yes.
For you there, huh? And you take them to Rosedale.
Rosedale.
Okay.
That's my jam.
Very
But
good.
I always, when I think about that question, for years, I've always thought about Salvador Dali and Leonardo da Vinci. What an interesting conversation
Wouldn't that be?
with either or both.
Wow, that would be an exciting lunch, breakfast, or dinner. Your favorite New Orleans song, either by a New Orleans artist or a song about New Orleans?
Easy. Bourbon Street Parade.
Oh, I could listen to that anytime either.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
We have a band, I hire a second line band to come to the restaurant on Endymion Saturday, which we call River Bendymion. And they know that they play Bourbon Street Parade first because that's Frank's song.
That's beautiful. What's the one New Orleans food item you can't live without?
Ugh, raw oysters on the half shell from the Gulf of Mexico. To me, a raw oyster is the world's finest food.
Pure. And what's your sauce?
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. Lift and slurp.
Beautiful. Speaking of drinking and eating, slurping, here's the scenario. You've been out of town for about a month, just flying back into the airport, our beautiful Louis Armstrong International Airport. You're getting into an Uber, and you decide you're really thirsty. Where are you going to go, and what are you going to drink?
So many choices. I would go to Compare La Pain and sit at the bar and have one of their very delicious and creative mocktails.
Very nice. That's a great location, too.
Oh.
I mean, it's right there.
I always, socialize there. You see people I know or meet new friends there. It's always
Yeah,
wonderful.
Chapatulas and Portras. Just,
Yes.
it's beautiful. And she's done a great job, Chef Compton. Really nice. Okay, here we go. Coming home with this one. In 5 words or less, why do you love New Orleans?
Love New Orleans as much as I do. We share.
Yeah.
No matter who you meet in New Orleans on a visit, we want you to love this place as much as we do.
You kind of model the way for everybody there, Chef. Thank you.
Thank you.
We found a video. It's a Mardi Gras video. Apparently it happens every Toth Parade, or at least it gets posted every time Toth rolls by a good friend of yours with the last name of Miller.
I don't know anything about it.
Can we take a look at that, and then you can comment on it?
Yes, of course.
Let's go to the video.
This is
look at
me
that.
having more fun than the law
Yeah,
allows.
you can describe it when we come out of it. Let's just take a look at it.
Oh, yeah. Larry shows us every year.
All right, yeah, so tell me how that came about.
Well,
I just think that's like, you should teach.
that's it. I mean, that's Mardi Gras. This is all of our cult followers await this every year. We had the most fun on Henry Clay Avenue at Toth Parade years ago at our good friend Simone Reggie's house.
She has a great open house. Now, she is still,
I think she moved.
she did move, probably because she had so many open houses.
Yeah, because of Miller. She won't see Larry Miller anymore. But, I had a little costume on, and we were on the sidewalk side.
Because that's where Simone's house,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
she's on the sidewalk.
Just in front of the house.
Yeah.
And Toth Parade starts on Henry Clay, and they come down the street. And, of course, the best, well, not the best, but for me, the most fun part of a Mardi Gras parade is the marching bands. And so as this band was coming by, I was mimicking their moves. Dancing is like I do.
A fine form.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes.
And someone was surreptitiously filming me very secretly.
And keeps posting it every year.
Every year.
Chef, we deeply appreciate you being with us. And again, we've got a wonderful book coming out this summer. Ladies and gentlemen, pick it up when it hits the book stands. And I'm sure there'll be a number of ways to purchase it.
Yes.
Color of Flavor. And again, happy 40th. We're
Thank
so
you.
excited for you and Marna and the entire family. And I look forward to trying many delicacies in the future with you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Mark.
much. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
All right, let's find out what else is happening in New Orleans with This Week in New Orleans with April Dupree.
Thanks so much, Mark. Here's where you can eat, drink, and play this week in New Orleans. Lent is underway, which in New Orleans means one sure thing. Friday fish plates are everywhere, and we know where to get the good stuff. If you want a true neighborhood experience, grab a plate from a local church or school fish fry. You'll find them all over the city, serving up fried fish or baked fish with all the classics, mac and cheese, potato salads, veggies, desserts, and a drink. Not doing a fish fry? No problem at all. New Orleans has no shortage of incredible fried seafood this time of the year. Local favorites like Mandina's, Hi Hat Cafe, Parkway Bakery and Tavern, Heard That Kitchen, Deanie's Seafood, and Mr. Ed's keep the seafood coming all Lent long. And if you're flying in or out of Louis Armstrong International Airport, you can get your fix there too. Check out spots like Leah's Kitchen, Yale College Inn, and the Munch Factory. Start your sipping with a classic at Bourbon House and order the iconic Bourbon Milk Punch. It's smooth, strong, and if you don't end up with a milk punch mustache, then you must be doing it wrong. Since you're already in the quarter, turn it into a cocktail crawl. Start near Jackson Square, then pop over to Pat O'Brien's for a hurricane, swing by Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop for the legendary purple drink, or grab a spin at the Carousel Bar inside the Hotel Monteleone. Stop into Napoleon House for a classic Pimm's Cup. For something a little bit more elevated, head to Arno's French 75 Bar or Jewel of the South. And if you're looking to end the night with the tropical notes, Manolito is always a solid last stop before a walk along the river. Just remember, this is a crawl, not a race. March means great live entertainment around town, and this week has a little bit of everything. The New Orleans Pelicans take on the Washington Wizards at the Smoothie King Center. Theater lovers can also head to the Sanger Theater, where the Phantom of the Opera takes the stage this month, bringing big Broadway energy right here in the Big Easy. If you're looking for something a little bit more low-key, the French Market District has live music all week long. Check out Music Mondays with Byron Bickham, Whimsical Wednesday with Jade Centrell, plus Soulful Saturday and Sunday performances featuring Alicia Renee, also known as Blue Eyes. These shows are free, local, and easy to drop into while you're exploring. For more information on where to eat, drink, and play this week in New Orleans, scan the QR code. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, April. All right, we'd like to end each show with something positively New Orleans. As we approach America's 250th birthday this summer, we aren't just marking another anniversary. We're celebrating the enduring spirit of a nation built on courage, ingenuity, and connection. And if there's one way to see that connection in a big way, it's through America's maritime heritage, the waters that carried explorers, ideas, goods, and people that helped shape this country. And I may be a little biased, but there is no better place to celebrate this than New Orleans along the banks of the great Mississippi River. America has always been a maritime nation. New Orleans has always been a maritime city. From the earliest colonial ports to the naval battles that secured our independence, from merchant vessels threading continents together, to the Coast Guard and merchant marines who keep our commerce flowing, the story of this country and this part of the world are inseparable from the sea and the rivers that give life to our communities and that have shaped our livelihoods. In New Orleans, that story is especially vivid. We are sitting at the mouth of the mighty Mississippi, and our city has been a gateway to a continent, the crossroads of culture, commerce, and creativity. The river isn't just a landmark, it's part of who we are. That's why Sail 250 New Orleans, part of the America 250 commemoration, is such a fitting highlight of this milestone year. From May 27 to June 1, New Orleans will host the first stop of Sail 250, the largest gathering of tall ships in generations, bringing majestic sailing vessels and naval ships from around the world to our Mississippi riverfront as part of this nationwide celebration of America's sesquicentennial. Visitors and locals alike will witness a parade of sail, public ship tours, fireworks, educational events, and more, all free and open to the public, transforming our waterfront into a living tribute to the maritime currents that have shaped this nation. This moment isn't just about history on display, it's about connection. It reminds us that the same river that built New Orleans as a city built to host connected remote communities to markets, that the sailors and shipbuilders of old paved the way for modern trade and cultural exchange, and that the freedom we celebrate at 250 was defended not only on land, but upon the very waters that still carry our stories. So as we celebrate America's 250th, let's embrace Sail 250 New Orleans as a symbol of our maritime heritage, our place in the American story, and our ongoing journey forward together, anchored in history, but reaching for the horizon. And that's positively New Orleans. And that's a wrap. Thanks to our sponsors, Blue Runner Foods, Crystal Hot Sauce, New Orleans & Company, our friends at Visit the North Shore, and their podcast, All the Waves. Go check it out. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for all of our new videos. We'll see you next week.